Okay, guys, I'm live. I'm officially live. Apparently, I am live. Let's check this out. Oh, I forgot to take off the advertisements. That's annoying. That is annoying. I normally switch those off. Right. Okay. Seems like we are good. We are good to go. Let's check that audio. Let's check that it's not bad. Yeah, it's all good. So the reason I was doing that previously, when I did a live stream, it was crackling at the end, but that was not an issue with me. That was an issue with Mr. YouTube. So I can see there's a few people watching already. Thanks for those of you who tuned in early for this live stream. So yes, as the title suggests, I'm going to unbox this today. My Xiaomi 10T Pro, the Mi 10T Pro. So I've not had a phone for about 3-4 days. So my guesstimate is that I'm going to have about 10,000 WhatsApp messages from all the WhatsApp groups I'm in and all the messages over Christmas, etc. I don't imagine it's going to be easy to deal with that, but yes, it's going to be good to have a phone again. So I'll wait a little bit, we'll just have a chat before I get going with unboxing, and we can chat about some other things. You might have seen my video yesterday about the Xiaomi Mi 11, which is coming out. That's something I'm going to keep tabs on. It does look quite good with the Snapdragon 888. Hard to say that fast. The Snapdragon 888 or 888, maybe we should call it a 888. The Snapdragon 888 is the successor to the 865. So it looks like a good CPU. I'm sure performance is going to be really good. But we shall see. Following the Mi 11 announcement, I think we're going to be 3, maybe 4, maybe a month or two before we see the announcement about the Mi 11 Pro. But we'll see what happens. Let's see what's going on here. Live chat. Right. Everything seems to be okie dokie. Okie dokie. Right. Merry Christmas, not Spider-Man. Welcome to the stream. Right. So before I get started, I just want to show you the phone, which I am going to unbox today. And if we jump over to the overhead camera, we can see it is the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G, and it's got a 108 megapixel sensor. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I'm coming from the Poco F2 Pro here, and also a Xiaomi phone. This is going to get sent back to Xiaomi because it died. It absolutely died. I can't charge it, which is a little bit worrying about sending a phone away with all your personal data and all that on it. But they are going to repair it locally, despite the fact I ordered it from China. So that's good. So I really did like the Poco phone though. You know, it's got the same CPU as this, and it's got the pop-out camera, which gave you this all-screen display. And it had an on-screen fingerprint sensor. And it's got the headphone jack. And I do like the headphone jack. As a YouTuber, it means that I can plug in microphones easily, but also headphones. But this does not have a headphone jack, but what it does have is a fingerprint sensor on the side, I believe. So I believe there's a fingerprint sensor here at the side, like that, just on the side there, which we shall see. I'll try it out. And I like the idea of that. I like the idea of having the fingerprint sensor there. I used to always like the fingerprint sensor on the back here on phones. I just found it, you know, when I picked up the phone, that's where my finger kind of naturally gravitated to. The on-screen display, I'm not a massive fan of. It works, but it's just not as good. So I'm looking forward to trying that, you know, the side-mounted fingerprint sensor. I think that's a natural position as well, because your finger kind of hovers over it, which I can't do here because it won't switch on. So let me know if there's any questions you have before I start doing the unboxing. Any questions about the phone. If you're watching, please do post a comment, ask a question, say hello. Certainly, because sometimes it's hard for me to know if there's anything going wrong with the stream. In fact, the last time I did a live stream, I only knew there was something wrong with the audio because everyone started complaining about it. So Be sure to let me know if there's any problems. And oh, I didn't know that was there. Yeah, be sure to let me know. So I'll jump over to the browser just to give you a little bit of an understanding as to what this phone is all about. So this is the official Mi 10T Pro page. The what would you call it? The official sales page, and it's the usual. I mean, what we're seeing now with phone companies now is, because we kind of have a standardized design now, as far as it's just a rectangle with the cameras in the back and a camera in the front. Most of the focus of marketing material is kind of geared towards, well, 5G. That's been at the forefront the last year, but most of it has been about the camera, and I think that's what's going to happen in the next few years as well. Just camera. Hey Hugh, good to see you. So you can see, it's kind of hard to see here, but 108 megapixel, 64 megapixel triple camera system. It's got a 144 hertz display. Interestingly, the Mi 11, which is coming up, has got a 120 hertz display. So it's a Snapdragon 865, which is the same as what I have with the Poco F2 Pro. And it's got a 5,000 milliamp battery. And again, with the Mi 11, they've actually got a smaller battery, which is a little bit weird, but they do have faster charging. So this has got 33 watt fast charging, same as the Poco. So here is the camera system, 108 megapixel for the wide sensor, I believe. Yeah, so that's for the 10T, but this is the one I've got here, MT Pro. And then we've got an ultra wide sensor for 13 megapixels, 5 megapixels for macro. From the reviews I've seen, and I remember I didn't like look extensively at every single video of the Mi 10T when this came out, because I already had the Poco F2 Pro. But I remember it topping a lot of reviews and articles and benchmarks where it was, people were saying it's the best camera so far. Whenever you say something is the best camera, these things quickly change. Like with the matter of weeks, sometimes, a new camera comes out, a new phone comes out, and it beats it. So as far as the camera goes, it looks good. The display looks good as well. 144 hertz, which will be significant for me coming from a 60 hertz display. But I'm hoping there is a mode for me to disable that, because I mean, this is something that they're not really talking about as yet, certainly not in the marketing material, but 60 hertz is kind of where it is with most phones, like iPhones and most general phones. If they don't talk about a fast refresh rate, that's probably what they've got. But fast refresh rates will use up more battery. And I saw that with the Realme X50 Pro this year, where it had a 90 hertz display mode, but it used up a lot more battery. So I found myself kind of switching back to 60 a lot. But they did have a mode that allowed you to kind of auto switch. So I would put on 90 hertz, for example, for games. I'm not sure if that's how it works here with the Mi 10T, where maybe it switches to 144 hertz if you're playing games. I'm not sure. There's probably an option for me to disable it, but it's got, you can see here the fact that it's saying it's 50 hertz and 60 hertz, then 144 hertz. Clearly, the screen supports a variable refresh rate, which is what you see in monitors with FreeSync, etc. 6.67 inch display. So 8 gigabyte of memory, 256. So that's what I've got in mind. 8 gigabyte of memory and 256 gigabyte of storage. It's kind of, I don't know if that's overkill for me now, because I've kind of got used to keeping a lot of stuff in the cloud, so I don't use as much. But okay, 100% charge in 59 minutes. I suspect that's true, because it'll be the same. It's the same charging speed as the Poco F2. I think the battery's slightly bigger. I think the one I've got is black, and I believe this case comes protected by screen protector. I've actually ordered a screen protector, so if it's got a screen protector already, I've wasted some money. Right, so there's more specs here. I'm going to post the specs here in the comment area. When you get to your age, megapixels are only as good. I'll just post this. Only as good as what my eyes can see. You do. I'm not gonna. I guess it's the law of diminishing returns a little bit, but we did see a huge jump as far as displays go. I'm not a big display guy per se, and I used to watch a lot of videos and they'd say, "Look at this! It looks so washed out. It looks so terrible. The colors are awful." And then look at this one, and I'd be looking at them thinking they're almost identical. I think what you'll find with those kind of AMOLED displays is, you know, the colors kind of pop out and it does look better, but we are kind of approaching the point where it's very difficult to tell the difference between, you know, the density of pixels between phones. You know, if you're talking 400 to 500 pixels per inch, etc. Retina display is the best. Yes, Retina display. One of Apple's favorites marketing terms. You gotta love how they take something that's been out for years and they just, you know, rebrand it as something new. So yeah, I've posted a link to the specs there, guys. Check them out if you want to, you know, see what's happening. Key things here, you know, the 108, 13, and 5 megapixel sensors at the back can do 8K at 30, 4K 3060. But the front camera is 20 megapixels. I believe it's either the same sensor or a similar sensor to the one I've already got in the Poco F2 Pro. Can only do 1080p at 30. A little bit annoying. I really don't know why they don't put in sensors that can do 4K, but I guess it's better to have a good 1080p video than a bad 4K. I actually bought mine from Amazon, and you can see it's $463 here, which is still a really good price, but I got it for $399 the other day, and it was a panic buy. It was a panic. I ordered it, and I didn't even know what color I had. I didn't know how much storage it had. I was just like, that's a great price for this phone. I'm getting it. Right. So before I get started, before I do the unboxing, is there any questions? Are there any questions before I get going? Questions about live? Questions about the phone? I don't know. Right, we're good to go. How's the audio, by the way? Everything good? With regards to me using this microphone today, when I'm using this microphone, I'm finding it's really echoey. And I have been using this lavalier mic sometimes, which is quite good, but I also lost quite a few videos because it was kind of distorted, and that's what I hate about lavalier mics. You put them in the wrong position and then and you don't know, so it's not suitable on a live stream. How does this compare to the OnePlus Nord? Oh, this will smash the Nord. The Nord's a mid-range phone. The OnePlus Nord is a mid-range phone. This is a flagship. Looks and sounds good to me. Right, thanks, Sam. Right, let's get going. Let's see what's in this box, and let's get me back into society. Let's get me back into civilization. Oops, I have minimized that, which is why you can't see that. I'll drag this over here. It's amazing how you just minimize the window and it doesn't recognize it. Right. So this is the overhead camera. And I don't think I even need this yet, because I think this is going to peel away. It's the exciting part, eh? The exciting part. Okay. See, this is the part I normally get to edit out. I normally get to edit all of this out. All of my mistakes when you do an unboxing. What do you think? Zoom down a little bit. We'll get a little bit closer. My overhead camera is a little bit wobbly still. I'll set this over here. You stay there. Right. He's ready. Okay, I'll get up forcefully. Here we go. Presentation is good. Designed by Xiaomi. And it looks like we've got some accessories here. So let's see what we've got in the box here. So one thing I would say about Xiaomi is that they're quite generous with their accessories. Certainly when compared to iPhone and things like that. So in here we have, I don't know if you can see that, that's a little Type-C to 3.5mm adapter. So this is an adapter for microphones for me, but also for headphones, for audio. So that's good. These are some documents, a user guide, which no one will ever read or check or whatever. So we have a case here. So this is a case, a Xiaomi case. I'm not sure how I feel about this branding, but yeah, it looks not too bad. It says designed by Xiaomi on the side there. I'm not even sure if my camera's going to pick that up because I've got so much in the background, but it does say that there. Designed by Xiaomi. The problem is when you're on autofocus is it focuses on everything around here. But is that going to get in? No. But what I can do, let's see if I can do this here. I just want to show you this. Designed by Xiaomi. Can you see that? Go at the right side. Yes. It's really hard to see that actually. No, it's not going to come into focus. There you go. See it? I was doing it the wrong side, that's why. So it's just kind of small branding at the side there. But you've got the big branding on the back. Right. That would have cost you £50. The thing is, you can't really complain when it's a free case. You really can't. What I will say is, you know, the one for the Poco F2 Pro, over time, it does get kind of like that. It goes yellow. That's what happens with a lot of these types of cases. But I don't mind that, because the way that I look at these kind of cases, the free cases, is that really this is just a way to keep you going for a month or two until you pick a case. Because I hate when you buy a new phone and you don't have a case and you're worried about taking it out and dropping it, etc. Okay, so we've got a case here and we've got the Type-C charger, so that's all good. If you look in here as well, you should be able to see I've got the SIM card ejector tool as well, so that's in there as well. So far, so good. And now we have the phone itself. This is the Mi 10T Pro. This is it. So I'll just put that to the side because that will be the main focus of this video. Now we have the charger, which is something I didn't get before with my Poco. I got like a US EU charger or something like that. So this is the charger, which I'll have a look at this here. It is 0.7 amps, 5 volts, it says, or up to 20 volts, or 33 watts, as you would expect. It's a 33 watt charger. So that's the plug. Now it's got the quick charge there. Now I want to double check that just to be sure that I'm not, I don't have this wrong. But this, it doesn't, so what I'm trying to check here is, normally it tells you here what it's got. It says power delivery 3.0. I can't remember if this is quick charge 3 or 4. If anyone knows, please do let me know. If I have a partner, do they have tech envy? No, well, she does have, she's got my Surface Pro now, but she's not as interested in tech as I am. Next, we have the cable. Really should use that with the overhead camera. So we've got the charger and we have the cable. So the cable is, I would say, looking at my desk, it's 1 meter long and quite good build quality. I would actually say that that's something I have found about Xiaomi cables in general. I quite like the color schemes and they're quite thick. I mean, I do like braided cables as far as things not breaking, etc. But yeah, no complaints here. Everything seems quite good. Good charger. And we get a case and all that as well. But we're not here for that. We are here for the phone itself. So let's get this open like this. What I'll do is I'll take this sticker off as well. There we go. Get the sticker off. And this is it. This is it, guys. This is the Mi 10T Pro. And I don't have my scales with me. They're actually in the kitchen. I was using them. Hey, Kenny. So there's my friend Kenny. He's probably wondering why I've not been WhatsApping him. This is why. My phone is dead. So before I switch it on, all about the phone. Indeed, Kenny. Indeed. Really nice, actually. So when I ordered this, I just assumed it would be like a jet black or a matte black, but it's like a mirror. See my light in there? So if I hold this up, in fact, I'll zoom down a little. Why am I doing the hard work? Why am I doing the hard work? So you can see there in the back, Mi 5G. Then we've got the 108 megapixel camera system. There's 3 cameras in the light, and it's quite a pronounced bump. If you see that, it's quite a pronounced bump, which I don't mind. Yeah. Is it glass on the back? Yeah, it kind of feels like glass. It's hard to, yeah, it does feel like glass, and it's quite nice actually. It's hard to, maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. It kind of bends around the phone. So if you see it here, the glass kind of bends around to the side here. So really nice. So you've got the power button here. You've got your volume rocker. At the top, it looks like just mics. Just looks like mic ports. We don't have a headphone jack or anything like that. Got the Type-C charging port, and then we've got the SIM ejector tray, which I will need to put my SIM card in. And then we've got the speaker there. So I'm not sure if this is a stereo speaker system. I'm hoping that's obviously the main speaker, but perhaps we've got something else up there, I'm guessing. So nothing on this side at all. Just looking at it, again, I'll go a little bit further out. Yeah, it is nice. It does look really nice. Can you see yourself in the reflection? Yes, I can actually. I can. And if I hold it up to the camera, if I hold it up to the main camera here, you'll probably see how reflective it is, because you see that? You can see everything. Yeah, it's really reflective. This particular one, Sam, has 256 gigabytes, so it's quite a big phone storage-wise. If this was an Apple phone, this would be like 1300 or 1200 or something crazy like that. Does it feel like a premium phone? Yes, I would say so. I mean, I'll be honest, I was always happy with the Poco F2 Pro as far as quality goes. Size-wise, these are almost identical. I mean, they really are. I mean, look at them. They're almost identical. Sorry, I'll get that in a shot. Yeah, they're almost identical size and width and all that. The main difference here is that the Poco F2's got the pop-up camera on the top, and it's got the headphone jack, where here is nothing. Nothing on the side of either phone. Yeah, they're pretty much identical. The main difference with the Poco F2 is obviously they've got the pop-up camera and the headphone jack, but apart from that, everything is really in the same position. Feels the same. So that, you know, for me, this is a very easy switch to go to this phone. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. Looks really nice. So what I'll do is I'll put my SIM card in and I'll switch it on. You'll get a better feel for it once the display is on. Yeah, I'll be... Yeah, Sam, I'll be able to check my hairdo out. It's always important to check your hairdo. You know what? You know, most days I don't even look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? I just go like, right, okay, and then I walk away. Here we go. We have liftoff. So let's see what this SIM card tray is all about. So I'll show you this as well. This does not have any option for a micro SD slot. But what we've got here is SIM card, what does that one say? That one is SIM 2. And then on the other side, we've got SIM 1. So it's a dual SIM, which is actually quite good for me because I do have 2 SIMs. So my main SIM is a Virgin SIM. It's my main contract, but I don't get any signal in the house with it, really. Terrible. And I am meaning to change, but Virgin is going to move over to O2, so I've been kind of holding back. No, you can't expand storage. That's one thing you can't do with this, but it's not an issue for me personally because I basically use I normally use about 80 gigabytes, I would say. And beyond that, you know, everything's in storage, everything's, let's fill out. Everything's in on the cloud. So it's a non-issue really for me. So which way was that facing at? Oh, it was this way. So get this in and I should have liftoff. So, okay. So like I was saying, this another difference here, obviously with the pop-up camera here and you've got the headphone jack, but the other difference is the power button, which I always liked in the Poco. I quite liked that white against red for the power button, but apparently this is a fingerprint sensor, and I've never been a big fan of those on-screen display fingerprint sensors. Granted, it was actually quite good in that one. Look, I have a Xiaomi phone that actually turns on, so the Poco F2 Pro can get away. Go away, I don't need you. So I'll need to go through the whole boring setup process. Right, let's ask myself a question. Is there a screen protector? Yes, there is. So I've actually ordered a screen protector. Granted, I got one of the cheapest ones I could find. I think it was like £5 or something. But you might be able to see, if I get this really up to the camera, can you see it? If you see the lip here, see the little lip? There is a pre-applied screen protector. And it's actually not on that well. If you look at it, it's kind of misaligned a little bit. You can see it's not on perfectly. But there is one on. There is one on. But yeah, it's actually, if you were really OCD about this and things like that bothered you, basically screen protector is a little bit to the right, so it's not covering the full screen. Do I install privacy screen protectors? No, I do not. Right, English. Yes, English will do. I do not need to increase the... Choose your region. Okay, so now I need to set up the Wi-Fi. Do you install privacy screen protectors? Right. I need to check this one. Right. It is password time. Can you imagine how much is going to get downloaded after not using the phone for a while? Okay. I don't even know if I put that in right. Let's see. Yes, I am connected. I am connected to the Tinterwebs. So, what's my password? It's 1234, Kenny. That's the password, 1234, Kenny. Right. So now I need to sign my life away to the Chinese government. So go down a little bit, go down, down, down. That's always the wrong way. I have read this agreement that gives away my life. Preferred voice SIM card. I will go for Virgin. Go for Virgin. And okay. Copy apps and data. Chinese spyware, I know. So let's see a backup from an Android, a backup from the cloud. Right. So I'm probably going to choose the backup from the cloud here. Let's see. Yes, right. So I need to sign into Google now. I'm not sure. I've got my iPad here. Because I wasn't sure if they were going to do like two-factor authorization or anything like that. We shall see. We shall see. Let me see. On the iPad Pro. Yes, yes, yes. I knew this would happen. Hey, Flood of Sins. Yeah, I'm good. Just setting up the phone so that we can check it out. And it's asking for a prompt. Right. So open the Gmail app. Ah, right. Okay. It's actually asking me to open the Gmail app, not just the iPad. Here we go. Yes, that it is me. I think that's us. So what have I got here? 67% battery. So for those of you who don't know, see you, Jimmy. I've not seen that in years. So for those of you who don't know, when you're launching an Android phone, it will give you an option to back up, and you can see that 4 days ago, the last backup was basically 20 past midnight. I guess we'd say Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. 20 minutes into Christmas Day was the last backup. So I should be able to, back up everything from that. And it's asking me to confirm. So that's quite interesting as well. It's asking me to confirm my old lock screen or screen lock. So let me see. Is this going? Oh, that's quite good. That's pretty cool. So I just had to put in my PIN from my last phone, and now I can restore everything. Choose what to restore. So I'm going to just back up everything, but when I do that, there might be a couple of apps that I don't need anymore. That's probably less of an issue now because I'm going from a Xiaomi phone to a Xiaomi phone. So any of the kind of stock apps that were on this will be on this anyway. But sometimes that's a pain because, for example, if you've got like a Samsung phone or something and you back it up on a Xiaomi phone or whatever, a Google phone, sometimes it'll back up those Samsung apps. I've had that before in the past where I've kind of transferred over apps from other Android phones. So I'm going to restore, and it's saying just a sec. My guess is it's going to be more than a sec. Back up to Google Drive. Let's just do all this. I don't need location. Choose your search provider. Do you remember how easy it was to actually launch a new Google phone? Like, it was like just launch it and that's it. You just start your phone, what's your email address, good to go. Now you've got all these options. So this option here is, do you want Microsoft, Bing, Privacy Wall, Google, or info.com? I've not even heard of Privacy Wall or info.com. I suspect these companies have some sort of partnership with Xiaomi where they've paid a lot of money to be selected as an option, to be added to the phone. I'm going to stick with Google, and it's not because I love Google. It's, the search engine is not the best now, if I'm honest. Search results aren't great. I don't need the voice match. Anything else? No thanks. So just asking me if I need anything else here. I don't know if that's just because I'm zoomed in and it's hard to see the phone here. Oh, it's maybe the brightness. Maybe the brightness here, which I can't change yet. I think it's the brightness. I need to put the brightness down. I find that a lot when I'm doing phone videos. If the brightness is too high here, it's kind of reflective with what's going on. But I'll change that afterwards. Okay at 8210. Right, so it's just putting in some finishing touches and we'll be able to check it out. See what goes on here. Wonder how long it's going to take. Let's see. How long is this cable? Not long enough. Ask Jeeves. Now there was a search engine. There was a search engine. How did I get this thing in? Here we go. Or was it the other way? Must be this way. I've never get any idea how to put these things back on, but I'll try this. There we go. That'll do. That will do for now. That will do, donkey. Well, that's a great start. That's a great start. I'll show you something that's happened. So, get in there. Right. Never want to look at you again. Right. So, setting up the phone, and you want everything to go smoothly. And I get an error for in com.android.phone. Close this app now. So there's a great start to my new journey with the Mi 10T Pro. I've not even opened the phone yet and I'm getting errors. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Now, sign in with the previously used Google account. I've already signed in. What's becoming more apparent now, it's a little bit more obvious now that the screen is on, but all right, I need to connect to my account. So now I need to try and connect to the Mi account. Can I skip this? Skip, yes I can. Right, I'll skip this. I'll maybe do that later, but there's an option to skip into the Mi account, which skip, right. Right, so what I'm going to do now is set up the fingerprint. So this was one of the things I wanted to do with this phone. But now that I've got the display on, now that you've got the screen and it's all white, you can see the main camera sensor there. I'm not sure how I feel about it being there, if I'm honest. The reason being, I guess it makes sense for it to be kind of up at the top left, out of the way, but I would prefer it was more center, because what's going to happen is if you're taking selfie pictures, etc., it's going to come from here. Just a very strange angle. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure that's the best position for a front selfie camera. I think dead center here or there is much better. So yeah. So actually, see when you look closely at the camera though, that screen protector is on really, really badly. It's hard to see, but it's totally misaligned. Right. Hi, Simon. Night. How much did you pay for that Mi 10 Ultra? That looks really good. So you ordered from, was it Trading Shenzhen? Right, so what I'm going to do, I can't turn off the brightness of this yet. I can't change the brightness. So what I'm going to do is change... Is that going to work better? No, I don't think it is. Nah. Without messing about with camera settings up there, I can't really adjust that, but hopefully... Right, hopefully that'll work. So I'm going to... right, I need to set that first. I need to set a password. Honestly, see this setup process for setting up a new phone now. It's very annoying. It was so much easier in the past. You know, all these other things you get skipped now. It's like, do you want voice assistant? Do you want this? Do you want to sign up for this? Do you want to log into this account? Very, very annoying. Right. Ah, nice. So what was the phone that you got last month, David? So I'm going to add my fingerprint now. Added successfully. Can I just point out at this point, I'm right-handed, but say if you're Ned Flanders, this would be very annoying that you couldn't put a power, you didn't have the power button there. And, you had to use your other hand. I'm not a lefty, so that's not a problem. Right, user experience program. No, I don't want this. Automatic system, personalize ads, go away. So that's something I need to remove at one point. And this is one of the biggest things I hate about Xiaomi is that they have apps, they have advertisements based into their apps. Now, I'm not strongly against their ads in basic, what do you call it? I'm hearing myself in stereo here. I'm not against advertisements in their own system apps. For what I mean by that is, if I was going to download a file manager, sometimes if I use a free file manager, that file manager will have ads. So I don't mind that if their file manager has an ad. I don't mind that. But there's no way to remove the ads. And there are other areas where they do insert an ad and you can't remove it. So you need to go into the system and start deactivating a lot of things. There is an option in there to remove it. But it's like if you install an app, for example, there's an advertisement there. So it's not something I like, not something I agree with. I hope it's something that they remove. But they've come out and defended themselves by saying that's how they can offer cheap phones. And as much as I don't like ads being on the phone in certain apps, if it's a difference between paying £400 for a phone and £800, I guess I could live with it. I don't know. Right. So onto this, the default launcher. I think I'm going to go for the app drawer. Let me see, up or down. Yeah, I'm going to go for the app drawer. And then we'll see what comes up next. I'll go for limitless. Set up complete. So, finally, I apologize about the lighting. Basically, once I'm in here, I can turn the brightness down. You'll be able to see the screen a little bit better. So, see the Redmi Note 9 Pro? Is that the one that's about 150? Am I right? Or is it cheaper now? So, it's going to set up now. And the question is, how long is it going to take? In theory, it should be a lot quicker now to install a new phone, set up applications, etc. Because I've got a good Wi-Fi connection, but also the SSD in here, the UFS 3.1 they've got for storage. £150. Right on the money there. Deactivate SIM card. Deactivate. Right, so here I am. This is it. This is the phone. And I really do like this design. It's really nice. It's reflective, but I'm not going to be using it like this, because one thing I've noticed right away, before even using it, is the fingerprints. It's maybe hard to see on the screen, but there's loads and loads of fingerprints here. It's just an absolute fingerprint magnet. Yeah, that's a real fingerprint magnet. So let's test this case. It's quite a flexible kind of silicone case. I don't need that sticker. I really don't need that sticker. Why is that there? Don't see why that's there. Right. So let's see what we got here. That's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. Actually, it's kind of cheesy with the Xiaomi sign on the back. Yeah, it's not too bad. You can still actually see the writing through the back there, but quite good, quite grippy. And the fingerprint sensor is still exposed, which is different to not what you would normally get. Normally a case would just go over the power button and then you would click on it, but because this is a fingerprint sensor, they can't do that. At the bottom, you do have a space in the case for the speaker, for the microphone. The SIM card is blocked, but you've got access to the Type-C port, so that's all good. And at the top, you've got access. I assume that those are there's microphones and speakers there. I suspect that's the speaker. I think. There's absolutely no protection there for the camera at the back. There's no protection for that. I mean, you do have. I don't know if it's Gorilla Glass. I don't know if it's Gorilla Glass or if it's something else, but you do have protection over the lens there. I think the screen protector I'm getting, I'm not sure if it's got protection for that. I can't remember now. But I'll probably just keep that screen protector on it for now. So yeah, this is it. And what I can do now is turn the brightness down. So I can show you what I was talking about before. When the brightness is up, it's really hard to see. But if I turn the brightness down, it's bad. That's really bad for me to see, actually. But because of the lights, where the lights are, it's easier for you guys to see. So if I look through the camera, I should be able to see what's going on. So settings, what have we got here? Same as before. So this is basically the exact 100% settings area as I had before with the Poco F2 Pro. With this, the exact same settings area. So for me, this is a very, very easy transition. Very easy transition. And yeah, it's going to be easy for me to kind of navigate this and move around. You can see I'm starting to get more applications downloaded, and there's Amazon just popped up. What I found, did I not pick the app drawer? Pick the app drawer. Why is it doing this? Oh yeah, it has done app drawer. Oh, it's just installing them all here. So that's going to be an absolute pain for me now. I didn't want all of these to be on the homepage here. I was wanting them all just to be in the app drawer, but because they're it's set up by default to install an app on the homepage. It's going to do this. It's going to keep adding them, and I'm going to have to go through and sit on my phone and take all these away. Very, very annoying, but that's what it is. You'll see lots of Xiaomi Mi apps, and I always found that annoying that, for example, you're not allowed to remove the Mi browser. You just can't remove it. It's a system app. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's not stock Android, so there's not much I can do about it. It feels quick, though. I mean, it does feel quick. It does feel quick. Camera. Don't agree. Hold to record video, hold to burst shoot. Let me see. So it's the same camera app as before that I was used to. You can see there's an 8K option up there. It's the exact same option that I had before. It's the same layout and all that. Simon paid £750 for 12 gigabytes and 256. Wow. So this, I think this one's 8 and 256. The thing is though, Simon, you'd pay that for one of the lower end iPhone 12s. You know, that's exactly what I paid for an iPhone 12 mini, and that's the cheapest iPhone 12. So relatively speaking, you're still, I'm not going to say you got a cheap phone, but you've certainly not paid as much as you would for a Samsung phone or an Apple iPhone. Any questions about this phone when I've got it all set up? It looks good. I think this looks good. I'm not sure about the case with this big Xiaomi bit in the back here. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I mean, I can replace this case. What I would say though is, certainly when I looked on Amazon, I did not see a lot of cases for this. You know, there was a black Spigen one that looked okay. Most of the other cases were black, and most of the kind of third-party colourful ones were, they look cheap. So I'm going to have to have a look out for a decent camera case. But in saying that, I used the default case for the F2 Pro and look at the state of it. My biggest mistake with this was using this case because they had a cutout here for the pop-out camera, and the top of the phone is scratched to hell because of it. You know, it just got scratched. There's nothing you could do. You put it in your pocket and all that, it just gets scratched. This obviously won't have that problem. It's protected all around. As far as the lip goes, there's a little bit of protection. A little bit. The screen protector that's on though, it doesn't look like tempered glass. It looks like just a kind of thin layer. So I'm not sure how much protection you actually get. The thing is, with tempered glass screen protectors is what happens, as you can see here, is they do this, they break. That's kind of by design though. That's the whole point of them, is that when you drop them, it breaks this rather than the screen, but they do crack very, very easily. This is like my second or third one that I went through for the F2 Pro, just because you put it down and it cracks. But this one looks okay. This one looks okay as far as, it's not great protection, but it's not even aligned correctly. I don't know how they get that wrong, but it'll do the job for now. What is the signal grip like? The signal grip? What do you mean by signal grip? Hey, Mr. Switch, time to unbox. Mr. Switch was the person who suggested this phone. He advised that it was on sale. Much appreciated. The chipset. So this has got a Snapdragon 865. So I believe that's the Adreno 650. 650. Yes, Adreno 650. So it's the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core Adreno 650. So basically, it's what most Android smartphones had in 2020. What we're going to see now from Xiaomi and from, you know, most Android companies, apart from Samsung, we'll see most phones will have they'll have the Snapdragon 888, and the Xiaomi Mi 11 is one of the first ones to have that. Or locking onto a network signal. I don't know. I mean, it seems okay just now. It seems okay, but it's very difficult for me to tell. Like if I show you, I mean, it's the sort of thing I'd really have to wander about to kind of tell that. It's hard for me sitting at my desk. What I would say though is that generally speaking, I don't get a great signal in this house. This is actually where I get the best signal in the house, and I've got 1 bar or 2 bars. So it's not a fantastic signal here in the house. It really isn't. But if I switch to my O2 SIM, it's a lot better. But it's kind of surprising now, because most of you will know I've moved from Lanarkshire, not Lancashire, Lanarkshire, up to Edinburgh. So I moved about 40 miles or so, and you would assume in the capital city that the signal would just be amazing everywhere. And for the most part it is, but just for whatever reason, where we are close to the water, it's a bit of a black spot. And one day I drove to the post office and was talking to my mum in the car via Bluetooth, and you go around you go like maybe half a mile down that way, and there is nothing. I mean, not even 1 bar. It is a complete dead zone. For whatever reason, they just don't have a transmitter down there. O2 seems to be the only network that has it. So I have another O2 SIM in there. I've got like 300 gigabyte of data that I use for that I've got with Virgin. I only pay £20 a month. And if I pay £20 a month with O2, I get like 100. So I've been a little bit reluctant to go there because I get less data, but I really should switch over to O2 now. Yeah, it's very, very similar, I would say, size-wise. Switch to the browser. It's very similar size-wise. Can I use Wi-Fi calling? Yes, Sam. I think. So that was actually one of the reasons that I tried the Apple iPhone 12 mini. The Poco phone officially it supported Wi-Fi calling. There was an option to enable Wi-Fi calling, and I set it up, but it didn't work. Now, I think that was probably because I had the global Chinese ROM type. It wasn't a Chinese ROM, but it was a global ROM, whereas this one is for the UK market. So if I enable Wi-Fi calling here, in theory it should be okay. In theory it should work. I believe it does support Wi-Fi calling, but this one, you could enable it. There was like an option you put in to enable it, but it just didn't work. My wife's on, she's got 3. I'll be honest though, I'm quite reluctant to go to 3. One, because she doesn't get a signal in the house either. So I really don't want to switch to another network that I don't get a good signal. But the second thing is 3's support is awful. She tried to cancel. She bought a phone on a contract. She's got the Samsung S9 or 10, and basically she had paid for that. Like the contract ended the other month, like November or something, or October. So by law, or well, not by law, but all the other networks, once your 2-year contract ends, you just revert back down to a minimal contract. But they didn't do with that. They keep charging her like £50 a month. And she tried to cancel it before the contract ended. No one would answer the phone, and then it was in the chat box and all that. There wasn't an option to actually do it online. So 3 have set it up so that at the end of your contract, the support is terrible. And if you go into your account, there's only an option to upgrade. It doesn't give you an option to just revert back to a SIM-only plan or package. So just seeing how much hassle she had with that, and the fact she had to go into the shop and get it settled, and it still wasn't settled properly, it's just put me off using them. But 3 is without doubt the cheapest, but it's kind of it's a moot point anyway, because we're not going to have the option to use it in this house. I really should go to O2. Hi, am I saying this right? Adiye. God, I'm not even close. I apologise. That's good. You've got the Mi 10T. My friend bought that for is my friend Michael. I'm not sure if he's watching, but he bought that the Mi 10T for his wife in Black Friday for 300. But then she liked the phone so much she bought him the Pro. So I think he's got the Pro now. If you contact 3, they'll send you a box that plugs into your router and it then transmits a call signal. That's actually quite good, Sam. Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually quite good. Sorry, I didn't see that comment. That's quite good. Yeah, I'll try and get out one day, Simon. I'll be honest though, I don't know when I'll have time to do that. The reason being, I've got a lot of work, like regular writing and website stuff I need to do. But also I'm building my PC and I'm doing a lot of other stuff. I am hoping to get out and do some videos and clips. I don't know if it'll be like me walking about like this, doing a video. Maybe just whenever I'm out, I'll record some videos and then I'll comment on those videos. Maybe I'll do a summary. So if I get out today, for example, I'll try and take as many pictures as I can, take some pictures, maybe take some videos, and then I can comment on it. But as far as walking about for a day or two doing videos, I don't know if I've got the time for that. I really don't. It's quite time consuming to do that, and I don't know. Like from my point of view as well, you don't normally get the views for it either. I'm close. I'm trying to show that comment, Sam, but it's not letting me. Saying error, try again. That's weird. I just want to show you that actually. Can I show you this? Where's the... Is it here? See, you see here, like it blocks you, it blocks any links, but it's saying error when I try to show it. It's saying error. I don't know why it's not allowing me to show that comment, Sam. Apologies. Well, the problem really is the signal though. That's the problem that I've got with 3. 3 is quite good as far as traveling internationally. I would review the situation though. I would review the situation if that call signal thing that Sam's trying to show me, and for whatever reason it won't let me show the link. But the home signal thing that Sam's talking about, that could change my opinion about it. I wouldn't mind having just a little home router for calls in the house, because the wife is on 3 as well. So that's something I need to check out. Yeah, I'll check that just now, actually. I'll check that just now. I think that's that could be interesting. So I'm going to tell the wife about that, because she doesn't get a signal in the house. I'm going to tell her about that, because she could get that sent to her free of charge. That's good. Thanks for the tip. Right, what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to attempt to connect to WhatsApp. This is going to be a joke. This is going to be a joke. WhatsApp, after not being on it for 5 days, 4 or 5 days. This is going to be insane. Right, let's see what comes up here. Let's see what comes up here. Allow. It's going to just be an insane number of messages. It's not going to be pictures and videos. I have set it up. I don't know what do you guys do with that? See, with 3, etc. What do you do with 3? With WhatsApp, what do you do with images and videos? I've set it up so that I need to click on every picture and video, simply because the amount of crap I get sent from friends, funny videos and all that, they would just automatically download into my phone. 6 gigabytes. 6 gigabytes. You see that here? 6 gigabytes is going to be downloaded for WhatsApp. Oh well. The last backup was December 25th of December 0352. So it's going to download in the background. That's going to be interesting. So if I go back to the overhead camera here, you can see all the apps it's downloaded already. I mean, it makes you realize how many apps you actually use when you see them all like that, when you don't have them organized in folders and things like that. I normally use the Microsoft Launcher, which I maybe should stop using, actually, the Microsoft Launcher. The reason I always use the Microsoft Launcher is that the Microsoft Launcher allows you to basically save your profiles quite easily. I don't know how you feel about launchers. Like, if you use Nova Launcher or Microsoft Launcher or anything like that, one of the great things I like about it is that you can save your profile and you can see, save all your folders and save everything. And then when you log into a new account or a new phone, etc., you can just log into your Nova account or your Microsoft Launcher account, and you can basically sync everything up. So I wouldn't have this mess. I would launch Microsoft Launcher and then all my folders will be there. I don't know when the last time was that I backed it up though. That's the only thing. But that's probably one of the things I hate about setting up a new phone, is that you have to go through and organize everything and delete everything. So it's something I can do if I just log into the Microsoft Launcher. If I can, my mind went blank there. If I can log into the Microsoft Launcher, it will. I can't remember the last backup, but it'll allow me to sync up. Now, obviously, part of the reason that this transfer is such a pain is because I can't back up anything here. Normally, what I would do is, before I even switch this on, I'd do a backup of WhatsApp, I'd do a backup with the Google account, and I'd back up the Microsoft Launcher so that I would basically save all my folders and all that. But because this died, I didn't have the chance to do that. In hindsight, I only had 30%. But that might have been enough for me to do a WhatsApp backup, a kind of Google backup, or even transfer everything to, software or something on Android, on Windows. I didn't have a chance to do that though. I was trying to get it fixed. Sorry, David, I missed that comment about giffgaff. I looked at giffgaff before, and the problem is their accounts are quite limited. They've got a £20 a month plan, which is 80 gigabyte, and they've got really good deals at the bottom end, but not at the higher end. But the bigger concern is that they don't have 5G yet. At least last time I checked. Yeah, I've got Nova Launcher Prime or Nova Pro, whatever you call it. I switched from Nova Launcher at one point to Microsoft Launcher, and I can maybe give Nova Launcher a try today. If I go on to the Play Store, Nova Launcher. Oh, actually, I do have it installed. That's a lie. You can actually see that it's installing. I've typed for Nova Launcher. It's installed that one, and it's installing Nova Launcher Prime. So I did actually have it installed, even though I wasn't using it. As far as the 144 hertz go, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't noticed a big difference yet. I don't know. I think when if I'm sitting here and I'm playing games and stuff like that, that's maybe where I'll start to notice it. Or if I'm watching, if I'm browsing a lot and scrolling up and down, just scrolling up. That's my I'm scrolling finger there. I'll maybe notice it more. After general usage. Right now, as you can see, I'm sitting at the desk here. I'm keeping the phone under the camera and stuff like that. It's hard for me to get a proper feel for the phone yet, if I'm honest. I'm sure I'll like it though. Mr. Switch. One thing that put me off about third-party Droid phones was the bloatware. Samsung being the worst, but I'm really impressed with this phone. I would agree with that. In my experience, Samsung's bloat is ridiculous. I mean, I think bloat in general isn't good. I give companies a pass for one or two things. For example, like the Mi account thing that allows you to sync to their services. You don't have to sign in, but you can't remove it, fine. But it's when they add all these other apps. Like last time I had a Samsung phone, it had all these things like it was tracking your steps and tracking your everything else, and you're like deactivate, and you couldn't deactivate it. You had to go in and force stop. Now, the problem that you've got in Android is that if you can't remove a system app, you can force stop and you can force, prevent it from working. But whenever you reset your phone, restart it and things like that, most of the time these things get started back up. I believe all the time, in fact. So it becomes a real pain for these apps because they become a drain on battery and experience as well. I think Samsung is maybe an easy transition for people who come from Apple, because a lot of people who have got Apple phones like the fact that this is what you get experience. Whereas maybe you guys are as well, but maybe you same as me. What I like about Android is I don't like this file directory. I'm going to use a different app. I don't like this browser. I'm going to use something different. And that's the thing I've always found frustrating with Apple. It's like it's our way or the highway. And a lot of people prefer that. A lot of people do prefer to just have the apps that are there, and they don't want to be messing about with settings. They don't want to be tweaking anything. Personally, I find it very, very frustrating. So, for example, the iPad. I've been using my iPad not as a phone, but this is what I've been using to go on the web and just sit about using the web and checking emails, etc. the last few days. I've been using this more because I don't have my phone. And, this is great how it works. It's a great little tablet, but some things about it really annoy me. For example, if I'm checking my email, it doesn't default to Google Chrome for my browser. It starts opening up the Safari browser, which I don't want to use. I'm trying to sync everything on Google, and I like syncing it on Google browser, on Chrome, because why am I calling it Google browser? On Chrome. I like syncing it on Chrome because it allows me to basically sync everything between different laptops and computers. But despite the fact I'm opening things on Chrome, whenever I go to an email or Twitter or anything else, it just opens it in Safari. Some people prefer that, and they're happy to go down the Apple route, and maybe that's why some people go to Samsung. But I prefer to tweak things, and I like to say, no, this is the browser I'm using, this is the file directory, this is whatever. I thought they were unlimited. I must change it. Right, I'll check that now, David. I know you're talking about GIFCAF. I'll check it. The last time I checked, here. Why is that not typing? Oh, that's why I've changed a different device. That's why. This keyboard can sync between like computer, a laptop, a phone, a tablet, etc. So the last time I checked, it was £20 for 80 gig. There it's there, £20 for 80 gig, right? But then you've got 25 for always on. But this is what I don't like about them. This is what I don't like about giffgaff. £20 for 80 gigabytes isn't actually that good a deal anymore. At the lower end, their deals seem a little bit better, right? Or maybe not even there, actually. That's not amazing. But what I don't like is if you see this £25 always on data, unlimited, after 80 gigabyte of data or data. How do you even say that anymore? I use both terms. Anyway, after 80 gigabytes, you'll experience a reduced data speed of 384 kilobits per second from 8 a.m. to midnight. So basically, all day long, you have got 384 kilobits per second, which is kind of, you're paying £5 a month to get that slow speed. So I don't like that. Like, that's one of the reasons I looked at giffgaff, and when I saw that, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I do have a giffgaff SIM. I got a giffgaff SIM sent out at the same time I got an O2 SIM. But I don't like that. It's a really bad deal in my opinion. What Wi-Fi hardware are they using? Are you talking about 3? Hugh likes those apps in his Samsung phone. Xiaomi make most of the profit from services and other products. This is how they can make the phone so cheaply. The profit margin for phones is probably under 10%. Right. Yeah, I read the same thing. I read that as well. And is I don't think I don't like the ads. I don't like the ads thing and the built into apps and all that. But it doesn't hurt the experience so much that I don't want to pay double the price for a phone. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I don't like the fact to do it, but if it means getting the phone cheaper, then I'm all for it. And it's important to remember as well, certainly in the Android world, it's the same CPU in pretty much all the flagship phones. And that's why I never understood why people were buying the Google Pixel phones. Not that they weren't good phones. They were just so overpriced. Like, Google Pixel, like Google obviously had their Nexus range, right? And they came out with their Nexus range. It was very popular. It was stock Android. And then they changed to the Pixel range and it was really, really expensive. But you had companies like Xiaomi and Samsung, coming out with the Snapdragon 845 or 35 or whatever at the start of the year in March. And Google would come out with their Pixel phone in October, November. So it's like 6 months, 7 months after these other phones have been out. And you could pick up those other phones for like 300, 350, 400 sometimes. And they'd come out with a Pixel which was 800, 900. And a lot of reviewers, this is one of my pet hates with YouTubers. Not all YouTubers, there's a lot of YouTubers I like. But I hate how a lot of tech reviewers will just talk about a £1,200 iPhone or a £900 Samsung phone or Google Pixel and say, wow, this is amazing. This is the one I'd get rather than that phone. Talking about a £300 phone as if they're equal. And underneath the hood, this is the same as the phone that's £900 or £1,000. I would always try to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to performance. And it's kind of strange how some people are willing to pay such a heavy premium for the same performance. Whereas if you had a laptop and they say this is an 80, say this had, let me think of a mobile CPU, but say it had like a mobile quad core CPU, a 15 watt ultra low voltage CPU. I mean, this laptop has this CPU. This has the same CPU, but it's twice the price. It, for whatever reason, it doesn't work in the laptop world to charge twice the price, but in the mobile world, it does. The data speed I got on 3. Yeah, I would... It's pretty poor what they've done, Sam, with giffgaff. I think at the lower end, their deals are quite good. Like that, £9, 9 gigabyte of data for £10 a month and things like that, unlimited minutes and text. I can see why a lot of people go for that. I mean, if you're only using it for text and stuff like that, that's a great deal. Although £8, pay the extra £2 and get 9 gigabyte. Yeah, for minutes and calls, it's good, but I don't think the top packages are worth it. I think a lot of companies still throttle speed. I think they do. It depends on your plan. I think it depends on the network, but Obviously, there was a lot of people who just realized that some companies weren't throttling their connection, so they were just setting up hotpoints instead of paying £50 a month for a whatever connection. They were just setting up hotpoints with their phone and just using it for the laptop or gaming or whatever. In fact, we're actually at the point now where perhaps down the line you wouldn't even need a home router system if the 5G connection was so good or something. Just put a 5G SIM into a router. I don't know. Install 221 of 223. I have a lot of updates. I need to update. I need to remove a lot of these apps, by the way. I need to remove a lot of these apps. I really do. 200, like, in fact, that's what I need to change. So see the way the back button is. I always do it the other way. I always do it the other way. It's just the way I'm used to it. So that's one of the things I always have to change first. So let's see. Where is display? Ah, that's quite interesting. Right, I'll change that now. So I'll show you this in a second. I just want to change this button around or it's going to drive me crazy. I hate how they put this in a different area every phone on Android. So I'm looking for the bit where you change the bottom navigation. They change it. They display it in a different area in every phone. Alright, okay, let's see if I can find this. Full screen display. Where is, in fact, they have a search button. So I type in back navigation. Maybe that's what I'll need to search for. No. I cannot find this. Does anyone know where you find that in a Xiaomi phone? Because I can't check my other phone. Where is it? No, I don't use them, David. I don't use gestures. I just haven't got in the habit of doing it. What I'm trying to find now is home screen. Maybe that's it. Home screen layout. Where the hell is it? So whilst we were talking about launchers, these are the 4 launchers I've got here: Poco Launcher, Microsoft Launcher, Nova Launcher. Those are the ones I've got. So I'll mess about with these later on today. I'm going to spend pretty much all day messing about with this, getting it set up again. System navigation. I thought it was that as well. I thought it was, yeah. System nav. Nah. What is this under? I changed that for obviously, and it's the same. It's the same. It's the same layout as what I had before. I just can't remember it. Home screen, themes. Where? That's it. I mean, I guess this is another problem with Android, is that they'll always customize their own settings area. So when you start changing settings from a Samsung phone to a Google phone to a Xiaomi phone, you have to find all the options in different areas. It's not under lock screen. It's not under notifications. Nope. Home screen. All right, for the life of me, I cannot find that. Never mind. Right, so what I wanted to show you there, when I was there, is that they have the option for refresh rate. So it's got under 144 hertz. It's quite good there. They've got it 60 hertz, 90 hertz, or high refresh. So it's on high refresh just now. The thing is, I don't know what I'll end up using, because, I mean, maybe you guys can't see that well. It's maybe not coming through. The thing is, I'm recording this at 30 frames per second, so you're not going to be able to see what I see here. Obviously, it's more fluid. I need to check battery life. System navigation. Right, I'll type in navigation, see if I can find this. For the life of me, I cannot find this. Right, it's okay. It's not that navigation option. No, it doesn't feel warm. It doesn't feel warm, Sam. Feels okay. No problems at all there. One thing I haven't checked actually as yet. One thing I haven't checked is the. I'll get this out of the way. get out of the way, is the power button. So thumb seems okay. That seems alright, does it? Yeah, that's quite responsive. I quite like that. I would think it'd be better if the case wasn't on it as far as, you know, using it, but it's not too bad. I would say that's better than an on-screen display. I would say that's better than, you know, because normally I was doing this. Although, I still don't see why companies don't offer two options. Like, in theory, you could have a, maybe that's overkill, but you could have two options. You can have an on-screen display, and then you can partner that up with either one at the side or one here. I don't see why they can't put an on-screen fingerprint sensor in there as well. You're talking about 50 pence worth of tech to put in there. Maybe it does give them more options underneath, though. You know, maybe by putting the fingerprint sensor there, it frees them up to do something else down here with the battery or something. I don't know. But as a user, there are many situations where that's useful. You know, if you're, for whatever reason, it's just easy to press there or it's easy to press there. But fingerprint sensor seems quite good here. I just can't figure out how to change those back buttons. It has an option in here somewhere. I'm sure like 6 months ago when I got the Poco F2 Pro, I'm sure, can you use that one-handed? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, well, I can't show you that without showing, I can actually show you that without showing other people's numbers, so I can't show you that, but yes, I can use it one-handed because the phone dialer is kind of the bottom half of the screen. So that's fine. There is a one-handed mode for this, actually. There is an option for it. The other thing, let's check the memory and storage, etc. Obviously, I am installing a lot of things onto this phone right now, so storage will be affected. It will be getting used up right now. Where is storage, battery, and performance? So this is another thing that I do like. This is another thing I do like about Xiaomi phones. I was always using battery saver mode, but they've also got ultra battery saver mode as well. So you can see 24 hours. I don't believe that given how much I use the phone. But they've got a battery saver mode and ultra battery saver mode. Now, I suspect both of these modes will reduce the 144Hz display down to 60Hz. Now, I don't know if you can remember my iPhone 12 mini video. No surprise, guys. No surprise. When I did that video, you should have seen the amount of Apple fanboys that gave me criticism for saying anything negative about it, despite the fact it was a positive video. But one of the things I hated about the Apple iPhone 12 was it didn't conserve battery life. They had this option where it says activate battery saver. Yes. But then you charge the phone, and as soon as it got to 80%, it just deactivated the battery saver. Now, someone said that there is an option somewhere in the settings somewhere that you can stop that. I could not find it anywhere. But it's just stupid. Like, you put on battery saver and then you charge up your phone and then you go out for the day and battery saver is deactivated and your battery's draining really quickly again. Really strange. Yeah, I think I did well for the price. Because even if I do, I'm kind of like you, Mr. Switch, I'll probably end up getting another phone at one point this year. I will. 3 months, 4 months, or whatever. But this has got 256 gigabyte of storage. So this makes it a useful phone, you know, just from a media point of view as well. And the cameras seem decent and battery life will be good. So it'll be a really good backup phone if it comes to it, or my main phone. I mean, I think sound quality is something that I should be able to show you just now. Any of you guys with a Xiaomi phone now know how to change the buttons, or do I need to Google this? I really should Google this. They changed it. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. They've changed it as well. I do have an update there. There is an update there, I believe. No, that's just the default apps. I'll need to try and Mi UI. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's see if we can do this. Ah, right, here we go, guys. I found it out. So apparently you go to settings, you go to additional settings, full screen display, and then select buttons. Right. Can I just say, it's really sneaky the way that Google do this as well. See, for website owners, they show you a part like that from a website. So you don't actually need to visit that website. So that website doesn't get any advertising revenue. It's kind of sneaky the way that Google do that. But anyway, that's a side issue. So it is saying, put these over here for a second. So settings, additional settings. Here we go. Additional settings, full screen display here, and it's got select buttons. Button shortcuts. No, that's for gestures, isn't it? Nope, I think I'm in the wrong area. So I was trying to find where to put the buttons back to front. Does not appear to be an option here. I've went to the wrong page. Something else. It must be something else. Settings, full screen display, mirror buttons. That's it. I was looking at it there. Right, okay. So this is it. Mirror the back and menu buttons. Like, that's it there. That's why I couldn't see it, because I was looking for something that said navigation buttons or something like that. But yeah, I'm used to the back button here. Now, I don't know if you guys can remember, but I'm sure at one point that was the standard way. That was the standard way for the back button to be. I think Samsung had it the other way around. Am I wrong here? Have I clouded my memory of what, how Android actually set these phones up? I always thought that the back button was there, and that's how I got used to it. But then Samsung did it the other way. But then there's Xiaomi doing it the Samsung way. I always thought that was the default way, but I don't know. That's the way that I'm used to it, using the right side to go backwards. Right, so Sam was asking there about music and video. So I need to find YouTube, and I need to find a copyright video, because YouTube are incredibly aggressive with their videos getting taken down. Right, okay, YouTube. So a copyright. So I normally play that one. Right, let's we're going to just play a copyright video, and I'll give you my opinion on it when it comes on. That's the one I normally play. So what I'm going to do here, yeah, stereo speakers, definitely stereo. So we've got a speaker up here by the looks of it. Yeah, stereo. So the speaker at the top's really good, actually. Yeah, those speakers are really good, really, really good. So that's an area where we see a lot of phone makers kind of skimping, where they've got the single speaker down the bottom. But the problem is, if you're in bed and for whatever reason you're lying like that and you block your finger, like if you hold it there or whatever, you start muffling the sound. And I found that with, I'm trying to think, I can't remember if it was this phone. No, I don't think that was this one. It might have been something else. But I've had that with a few phones where if you hold it a certain way, for example, if you hold it like that or whatever, you start muffling the speaker and you can't hear what you're hearing. You can't hear it in stereo. That's what I'm trying to say. This doesn't seem to be have that problem. Stereo speakers, yeah, I'm quite impressed by that. I'm quite impressed by that. I think it's going to be quite good. So that's good for me because I do use my phone for everything. I really do use it for everything. And to go back to Apple, so I'm going to talk about some people who left comments on my videos, and I'll try and find it, right? I'll try and find the video that I'm talking about, right? Right, so see if I can find this. Because I want to address these comments. I was going to do it. In fact, where is? Are you still watching, Mr. Switch? What's your YouTube channel URL? I need to find that again. I always forget your URL. I'll find it here. I'm going to find your... There we go. There we go. So, like I said earlier, I gave a shout out to... you have, Jamie. Sorry, you have missed it. But if there's anything you want to see about the phone, just let me know and I'll show you. So, what I want to show you, if I... Let me see. I think it's this one. I think it's maybe this one. Right, it's maybe this one. So I want to show you a video, right? And I want to talk about a few things, right? Right. And this is something I probably should have did a separate video about this. Redo the unboxing. I'll put it all back in the box. You can actually rewind it. The under display camera. I'll show you it just now, Jamie. So this is the one where it's... So this is very similar, like almost identical. I'll get the keyboard out of the way now, actually. So this is my Poco F2 Pro, which died. So this is the one that's got the pop-out camera. It's got a headphone jack. This one does not have a pop-out camera. It's got a camera here. Doesn't have a headphone jack. So I don't like the fact it doesn't have a headphone jack, but apart from that, they're very, very similar design-wise. Like size-wise, these are very, very similar. Obviously, this isn't a case, but when it's out of the case, it's almost identical. Now, what this does have is a fingerprint sensor on the power button, which seems to be very good, actually. But this one, the camera is there. Yeah, it's the top left. I don't think it's an under display. Well, it's technically under the screen, under the top layer. I don't know if this would be classified as an under display camera. Is it? Do you think? Because the reason I'm saying that is because there was one from... Who was that phone company? Who's the phone company that always does weird and wonderful things? It's actually part of the OnePlus group. There it's there. So that is... Right, I can't show you that. I've actually got it. I've actually got it there anyway. Vivo, yes, I think that's who I'm thinking of, Ultra, thanks. Vivo try lots of weird and wonderful things, and they've tried under display cameras where you can't even see that there's a camera there, but here you can actually see it. By the way, just to let you know, this happened earlier on when Sam posted a link. So the default thing with YouTube is that when someone posts a link here, I need to click show. So it's to prevent spam, but you can see error, try again. So I apologize, Mr. Switch. It's not showing because of that. But I have found I did find your channel anyway. Yeah, I mean, I do think long term, this is hopefully where it will go though. I think the under display, the usual camera modules, I think the under display cameras are where we might go in the future, because it's kind of this evolution towards all screen display and kind of minimizing where things are. The ZTE Axon 20. Right. Right, so do us a favour, guys. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Switch, who has a channel on called Time to Unbox. So Mr. Switch, who's typing right now, is Time to Unbox. He was the person who recommended this. He advised me that this was on sale. So I'm going to post a link to his YouTube channel. This is it here. And he does unboxing. So if you've enjoyed today's video, I suspect you'll like his videos as well. And show him some love. Because it's not easy getting started on YouTube. I got the Samsung Galaxy A203, but do kind of regret it and wish you'd waited to get the A42 5G. Samsung, I would actually say that there's a good argument that Samsung's A range are. Thanks, guys. Yeah, show them some love, guys. That's good. Because it has got like it is hard getting started on YouTube. Like the first 100 subscribers are hard, and then getting to 1,000 subscribers is hard. And even for me, I'm still trying to go up the levels as well. So when it comes to smartphones and knowing prices and understanding the Chinese market, Time to Unbox, Mr. Switch here is certainly more knowledgeable than me. So be sure to check him out. Jamie's saying he's got the Samsung A20e. I would actually say that Samsung's A range is probably their best range of phones. Their S range takes all of the kind of accolades, and it's always their flagship phone. But they've been putting flagship CPUs such as the Snapdragon 865 into their A range, and they've got great cameras and all that. And it's weird, they're pushing the Xenos chip, their own kind of chip, into their S range. But the A range is really, really good, and it's probably is better value in my opinion. If you want a good Samsung phone, if you go for the S20 or the Note, was it the Note 10? Fantastic phones and all that, but you're paying such a heavy premium for it. And I would gravitate towards the Samsung A range like Jamie has. I've not used them, but I remember there was one point I was looking for a phone and I did consider it and I did think about getting it, and then I did what Scottish people do. We're tight. I went for a Chinese phone. The old Scottish stereotype. Which is certainly not true for me because I'm bloody spending money all the time. By the way, on a side note, I have been ordering more things. So I've got the CPU. I've got the CPU for my new PC, and my motherboard has arrived. I ordered a power supply last night, and I really just need to pick up a case and all-in-one cooler. And then I'll pick up memory and a new graphics card as well. But stay tuned for that. I'll do more videos about that. Yeah, I agree, Ultra. The Samsung A51 was one that got really positive reviews. Oh, that's good. I think that's the way I would go as well, Jamie, where you buy the phone cheap and then just get a separate SIM deal. And it just makes it easier to switch as well. You can choose what you want. I hate getting tied into these long-term contracts. 12 months I can handle, but see 24 and 36 months. It's ridiculous. Which PSU did I get? I got... in fact, you know what? I'll copy... I'm going to check my email, actually. I'm going to check my email because... Shout out by... So I got a Corsair PSU, right? And I was sitting up last night at 4 in the morning and I ordered it at 3:50 a.m. That's how late I was up last night. And 7:30 a.m. I got a message from Corsair that it had been shipped. It'd been shipped by... That's 3 hours. That's not even that, is it? So what's that? 3.5 hours. Yeah, unbelievable. So I got the Corsair EX1000. So where is it? Here we go. Right, so this is the PSU that I ordered. The EX1000. And I think it's got like a 10-year guarantee. It's titanium. It's got quite a good performance curve. And there's so many disagreements about which PSU you should go for online and all that, but I wanted titanium because the efficiency curve is better and because I'm going to be putting like a 3080 or 3090 in it with a 150 watt, whatever it is, CPU, 100, might be 105 watts, but if I do overclocking, the wattage goes up. So yes, that's what I went for. Yes, I've got Windows. I use Windows 10. It seems to be the best one for what I do as far as everything that I do. But I'm looking to get my Raspberry Pi set up soon so that I start doing more videos about Linux and try to do some things with that. Well, Ultra, I was hoping to get a different one. I've got the EVGA T2 and it's been fantastic. It's quiet and it's great. It's out of stock. In fact, nearly all PSUs are out of stock right now. This was the best one that I could get. Certainly not a bad one. I'm not complaining at all. This was the best one that I could get. I was probably gravitating towards something from EVGA again because I've been happy with them, but there's none there. So it really is crazy how components are out of stock right now. So hard to get a good GPU. It's so hard to get a good PC case. And that's why my build has been delayed. I've had that CPU for a few weeks now, for the motherboard for a week. I can't do anything. I can't do anything because the case that I want isn't in stock. So I might pick up a different case and then just kind of work with that until cases are kind of here in a month or so. Yeah, 229, 230. Which I don't mind. Like, the reason being, I will be pushing about, when it's idle, maybe 250, 300 watts, right? Which sounds a lot. It doesn't sound a lot, sorry, for a 1000 watt PSU. But when you're playing a game and you overclock the CPU and you overclock the GPU, I mean, you could be talking 700, 800 watts. And really, the efficiency for PSUs come from, well, for titanium, you can be quite efficient, 90% efficiency with 20% to like 80, 90%, 80% maybe. For those of you who don't know, when we're talking, like, I'm not claiming to be a power supply expert by any, and what's that term, by any step of the imagination? Can't remember the term, but effectively, what I think the general public aren't aware of is that whenever you have any kind of device, a lot of wattage is wasted. And if you have like a 500 watt PSU, you might only be using 300 watts. That's maybe all that your computer is using, but it might use 450 watts. It's just not efficient. So you'll spend more money in electricity. Of course, there is the argument that paying so much more extra money for a power supply, it will take years for you to get your savings back. And that's why there's a lot of discussions about power supplies. You'll see a lot of discussions about people, right? And they'll say, if you say get a titanium PSU instead of a gold PSU, and you pay an extra £75 or something, you won't break even for 5 years. It's a waste of money. But my computer is on 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, pretty much. Unless I'm away on a trip or something, it's on all day long from the, before I even go into the shower, my computer gets switched on and it's not switched off till like after midnight. So it's on pretty much every day, all the time. And it's going to be switched on like that for years. So for me, it makes sense to pay a little bit extra and pay that extra amount to get titanium, to get the more efficient curve. I will save it with the electricity, maybe not for a few years, but it's not just that as well. What people forget about as well is with the titanium power supplies, everything's better. Like the capacitors are better and the protection's better. Yeah, it's got a 10-year warranty. And, going by how quickly they ship that out, yeah, I'm hoping it's good. My Linux hardware is purpose-built by a company in Surrey. Unibody aluminium build with a black anodized aluminium coating. What is that, Jamie? What is it? What is the computer you've got? Am I looking at the Mi 11? Probably not. I think I'd maybe wait for the Mi 11 Pro. But I don't know, Mr. Switch. It's dependent on pricing. If I see the Mi 11 with a Snapdragon 888 and, it's quite cheap, maybe I'll do it. The problem I've got is buying phones for reviews is an area where I can lose a lot of money, because you buy a phone for 400, you sell it a week later for 300 and you get like 2,000 views. It's a waste of your time. But I do like covering phones. It is something I'm interested in, so I'll probably pick up one at one point. The Samsung A42 5G for $349. Oh, that's pretty good. A Harman Kardon speaker. The thing is, Mr. Switch, I don't know how I feel now about buying stuff from China, expensive items, because the problem with smartphones, like I've never had a problem with a smartphone before, right? But I don't want to just react to the fact that this died. GearBest, I contacted GearBest about this, right? And they did nothing. Like they've not even replied to it. Now, I had this same experience before with AliExpress and with another company where something was wrong and they don't even reply. And I had to go to PayPal. But the problem with a phone is that PayPal only cover you for, I think you're only protected for purchases of, was it 90 days or something? So I'm not opposed to buying anything from China though. That's the thing. I'd buy my cameras. Like the Hong Kong websites I went to, you get a local warranty and things like that. And I don't mind taking a risk for smaller items, but I'm really happy. I'm pleasantly surprised that Xiaomi are going to accept the Poco F2 Pro back. They checked the license number and they said, yeah, we'll repair that. So that's pretty good. But if you go for a lot of these other companies, then I don't know, it's certainly more risky. I bought a phone a few years ago from China. It was a mid-range phone and I paid £150 or something. And it came and the glass was separated from the phone. That's how bad it was. And I mean, £150, you'd still expect it to be okay. And I did get a refund for it, but it was, again, they didn't reply. I had to go through PayPal and all that. Yeah, just send a link or just type it in and I can find it on Google. Yeah, well, it's the risk of something breaking, the risk of selling it. You know, that's the other thing as well. If I buy something in the UK and, you know, I sell it on and it breaks, I can say to them, well, it's got a UK warranty, return it. Where if it's with China, I'm like, well, sorry, good luck. Right, okay. So it's still not letting me show the link, but I can copy and paste it. Ah, this is interesting. So Jamie has sent me a link to his Linux computer. This is really, really nice. Oh, I'm a sucker for things like this. An N5000 processor, 8 gigabytes of memory, 11-inch ARC IPS display, up to 7 hours battery life. So this is like the, what do you call the GPX, is it? Or GPD? GPD, sorry, this is like GPD, who make the kind of portable gaming laptop-y type of devices. I don't even know what you call them now. Ultrabooks or netbooks or, I don't know. 190 grams. That's crazy. That's like less than a phone. that's insane. That's really good. I'm a sucker for things like this. I bought the Asus, what would you call it? What was the devices? The E-top. Remember that was EEE? It was like 2007 or something. I had one of the first ones of those. I was a big fan of those. 1080p display. Oh, it's got a decent SSD in it as well. Decent SATA drive. So how much did you pay for this, Jamie? I think you did say. Did you say how much this was? I know it's crazy. It's crazy how light that is. USB Type-C port. You've got USB Type-A there as well. That's interesting. Yeah, that's so £400. I can see the price now. I missed it there before. That seems a decent price for something like that. Because I do love the idea of something like, see for example, you go to a conference or you go somewhere. Now, if I went to a conference, there is a chance I'd need something more powerful because I'm doing videos and I'm editing videos, etc. But if you go somewhere and you just need access to email and you just, you know, something to type, yes, you could go with like a Surface Pro or a tablet and hook up a keyboard. But there's a lot to be said about having a fully functional keyboard, a fully functional laptop. Yeah, it looks good. I like that. I like the look of that. I do like I can't talk. I do like the look of that. Only took me five times to get there. Right, guys, there's something I want to talk about. I want to talk about Apple, right? And I want to talk about. I was going to do a video about this, but I'll just talk about it now, right? £1.98. That's insane. Yeah, it looks good. I could see myself buying one of those and then never using it, but just not want to sell it because I love it so much. I'm a sucker for gadgets that I don't need. Right. So what I want to do is talk about Apple, right? So it's funny, like being a YouTuber. I feel like a twat even referring to myself as that, but when you do videos on YouTube, like I generally prefer to cover all these weird and cheap phones that people aren't covering, well, as much. It's easy to do a video about Apple and get views because they're desirable, people like Apple, etc. But it's just funny though, because whenever I do a video about Apple, I get a little bit more views, but it's, the response is very dependent on what I say. So that's a really bad position for me to pause that there. Opening, right? It's really dependent on what I say. So if I say something positive, wow, you're one of us. Thank you. Like. If I say anything remotely negative, then I get dislikes. And I mean, look at this. Why I'm returning my iPhone 12 mini, 31 dislikes, 73 likes. Now, I don't care about the dislikes, that's fine. But it's interesting because you can see from the comments you'll get a feel for how people feel about it. Now, to me, that was an extremely positive video. And to kind of summarize what I said, I love the Apple iPhone 12 mini. I paid £750 for it, but it was fantastic build quality. Cameras are amazing. I was really happy with the cameras and all that. I was still getting used to iOS. I mean, I use it with the iPad, but I was still getting used to it as a phone. But what I said was that I didn't like, it was a little bit sluggish and it was actually freezing up sometimes, which someone later said was a bug. And I did say it could get fixed. But the thing I did say was that battery life was an issue. It was a major problem. Like I was hardly even using the phone and the battery had to be charged twice a day. Whereas I'm used to these bigger phones, you can get through a full day of videos and music and everything. So I pointed that out, the battery life wasn't good. And also said, listen, I love the fact it's a small phone, but the reality of using a small phone is that you're typing on a small keyboard. As good as it is to have a smaller phone in your pocket, it does mean that you're typing on something that's small and it becomes a pain. Oh, yeah, that's basically it, Jamie. You're summarising what I'm saying. I've noticed Apple fans going to defensive, the slightest negative comment about Apple or Apple products. And that's the thing about this video. I called it Why I'm Returning My iPhone, and that's what the video is about. But I was nothing but positive about the iPhone. I just said, listen, I'm a power user. I use my phone all day. I'm cooking something, I'm putting on YouTube. I'm listening to podcasts. I answer all the YouTube comments. I answer through this. It's a pain doing it through the browser. It's a pain doing it through the iPad. I use my phone. I do it through the YouTube Studio app. So I use my phone for everything. Emails, like update my website. Something. I'd use it like a laptop. It really is, important to me. And I do use it a lot. And I realize I'm not an everyday user. So that's what I said in the video. And I was like, listen, I know this is fine for most people, but for me as a power user, the battery life is horrific. I can't get on with it. I have to return it. And I said that I would probably get used to typing, on a smaller screen, but it is a pain right now. So that's me summarizing this 16-minute video, right? So that video is there if you want to see it. But it's funny looking at the comments because clearly a lot of people were not happy with that. I'll go back. I'm trying to sign into YouTube here for some reason. Right, I'll go to the comments. I love the size. It's so comfortable. So what I'm trying to show you is the comments about battery. So there's a lot of comments here about battery life. So let's go through them. Let's see if I can find it. Right, iPhone 12 was amazing, small and refreshing. I just switched. Geez, sucker. battery wasn't that bad. It's the user's problem. I'm a sucker for not wanting to bring a laptop with me everywhere I go. Wait, I'll disable this. So that's one example of the type of comment that I was getting, and I got that from a lot of people. That's not the only person. Mr. Switch, leaving a comment there. So here's another comment. I don't get the battery issue, right? The phone charges super fast. If you can't spare 20 minutes to half an hour, you're way busier than I am. I am usually pretty busy. So, I get a lot of comments like this, right? And again, it's like Jamie says, they go on the defensive. And the thing is, I do like the Apple iPhone 12. Like, I love the Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max, I think, that my friend Gary had. My friend Gary gave me last year. Very kind of him to do so. And Gary gave me his iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it was amazing. I think if I was going back to Apple, I'd try the Pro phone, because they talk about the iPhone 12 Pro Max and all that being too big. It's the same size as this. It's kind of what I'm used to. But it's funny because to me that was... I mean, I was saying the battery life is just bad and the screen's bad, but I kept saying I really do love it, and it's painful for me to send it back. But the reality is that I just can't use it the way that it is. It would have to be like a backup phone. This is why Apple rip people off with their underpowered. Their Apple Cup followers will pay for anything for them. Yeah, but these are the comments that I get. I mean, going back to this guy's comment, I don't get the battery issue. The phone charges super fast. If you can't spare 20 minutes to half an hour, you're way busier than I am. I am usually pretty busy. See, the thing is, right, even if I'm at home, I don't want to have to constantly charge my phone. Not really. I mean, I do have cables kind of everywhere, right? I do. I buy them and I plant them places. But when I go out for the day, I don't want to carry a plug. I don't want to carry a power bank. I don't want to. And the thing is, I did in the past. I used to go to work when I had a job years ago. When I had a job in an office, like, 20 years ago nearly. I've been self-employed on the internet a while. But when I did, back in the good old Nokia days, I would always buy a spare battery. Always. I would buy a spare battery and I'd replace it. Sometimes I would take a plug as well. Then power banks became a thing, and I started carrying power banks everywhere. So I started taking a power bank with me, which wasn't a major hassle because I was going to work and I had a bag with me, etc. But when you get used to a phone with a big battery, 4,500 plus, you get used to not charging your phone all the time. And you also get used to charging your phone for an hour or, half an hour, and you've got to charge for several hours. You get used to it. And having to go back to a phone without any battery is a major pain. Saying to someone, oh, just take a plug or just take a power bank with you, it's not getting around the fact that the battery in the iPhone 12 mini is horrific. And it's weird how they go on the defensive about this. I'm not insulting anyone. It's just silicon. That's all it is. I couldn't care less. I mean, if I'm talking positively about the Xiaomi phones, right? Because I think from a value point of view, performance, price point of view, these things are fantastic. But if they start coming out with crap products, I'm going to talk about them. I couldn't care less. I don't owe anything to the company. It's just weird. Yeah, fanboyism. But that is weird though. I mean, Ultra needs a 6-inch phone now. Sorry, I'm a little bit late with the comments here. Ultra uses a 6-inch phone now. I've got a tablet myself. Didn't think I'd get one, but turned out it was actually quite a good idea for what I do. What is it you do, Jamie? What I do, I use a tablet. I don't like a tablet for productivity. So I don't like sitting typing on it all day or anything like that. I use it for YouTube and Netflix and things like that, and I love it for that. But everyone uses these things differently, of course. This is why Apple rips so many people off. Apple's too overrated. There's fanboyism, there's a religious cult. Apple is the latter. The thing is, I think the perception, it's weird how the perception of people, like to me, I was being really, really kind in that video, considering the fact that battery life was so bad. And in my opinion, battery life should be a priority over pretty much everything. It really should. I mean, when you think of how much we've stepped backwards over the last 20 years, we had phones that lasted for 4 or 5 days if you didn't use them a lot. And then we brought in smartphones, and then all of a sudden, you know, with the big displays, they got bigger and bigger, and battery life went down and down and down and down. And again, that's something I need to manage with this phone because it's 144 hertz. Maybe when I put in a battery saver, it'll go down to 60 hertz. But it's amazing that battery life has become less important over the years, at least from a developer's point of view, despite the fact we're using our phones more. And it's weird that when you point it out, people are offended by that. It's really bizarre. Jamie says battery life is affected by tons of factors, including apps on the phone. Agreed. Network provider. Yes, that's important too. And that's maybe why my signal, that's why I'll have to try Wi-Fi calling on this, because if I've only got one bar, that, you know, the what do you call it? The chip. What's the antenna? I could not think of anything there. So this is the problem. You do it live, you can't edit these things out. But the antenna has to search for a signal more. It uses more battery life. Battery life is affected by tons of factors, including apps on the phone, network provider signal, case on the phone, where you are when you're using it, or in or outside, all affects the battery life. Agreed. I mean, I generally use this. Again, this is one of the reasons I like this phone as well. I like the battery mode. The battery mode is what I tend to use. If I can turn on battery mode and performance is not affected in any way, like negatively, maybe it would affect games and anything like that, that's fine. I can switch it off. But if I can disable battery life, to me, that makes the phone run more efficiently, because there's no need for me to have 144 hertz if I'm just replying on Twitter. It doesn't bother me. Time to box. I never owned an iPhone in my life, but long-term iPad user here, and I wouldn't choose an Android tablet. I think iPads are the best tablets available, but I would happily switch to a Huawei. I mean, I had a Huawei tablet for years. I'd happily switch to a Samsung tablet as well. There's not a huge amount between them, really, not massively. There's not a big difference. It's certainly not as much as there was in the past. In the past, Apple were just smashing the tablet market. I think Samsung have stepped up their game, and there's some really good cheap tablets from Huawei and, you know, Xiaomi as well, and other companies. Mobile signal on iPhones are awful from what I've seen. I didn't have a major problem with it, if I'm honest, but it seemed to be good outside and bad inside, which is what I've got with all phones. I do online games, forum-based, so when I go out and about, I have my phone, but also have the Galaxy Tab 8.0 2019, which is great for YouTube and other apps when lounging on the sofa. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's nice. I mean, I can... is there a URL for that I can share with everyone? Yeah, the Samsung tabs are quite good. And I think the light you're talking about, Ultra, the Samsung Tab S6 Lite, I think that's the one that comes with the S Pen. It comes packaged with it. Let's see if I can tell you. Right, okay, here's another comment. I found another good one. This video, honestly, it generated so many... Sorry, Jamie, you were talking about you do online games. Can you share any? If you want to share one of your games or your forums, I can post it here if you want. So I'll share with you another comment. I know I'm talking about this a lot, but it is quite funny. Tell me a phone that can last all day. Any phone's going to die regardless. Charge it. What did I say? Tell you a phone. I could list dozens, but I'll start with the one in my pocket, the Pocophone F2 Pro. Even when I hammer it all day, it doesn't need a charge until nighttime. With light usage, it can last. Why am I even replying to this guy? I don't know, but I did. Which phone? See, this is weird. This guy thinks that there's no phone exists that's going to last more than a day, despite the fact there's a ton of phones in the market. You know, Android phones that can last 2 or 3 days. You know, these big 5,000 to 6,000 milliamp batteries. Get an iPhone 11 Pro. Okay. Get a regular 12. It's funny though. I'd find it funny. Oh, your game is based in Discord at the moment, right? Okay. It's just funny though, like USS Envoy. All right, okay, right. So Jamie shared with me this. So what is a forum-based game? I'm quite curious about what you do now. Yeah, it's funny. I find it funny. I find it funny with all these Apple fanboys turning up. The thing is, this is a little bit of a problem. The whole Apple thing. I do like Apple products. I like their iPads. I'm quite impressed with what they're doing with that M1 chip. It's definitely a work in progress, without doubt. You can stream video on Discord. The M1 chip from Apple is definitely a work in progress. But when companies optimize their apps for the M1 chip, it'll be really interesting to see what Apple do. So I'm not against Apple at all in the slightest. But there's so much bias in the media to Apple products. And I saw that as well, for example, the iPhone SE. I saw the SE 2020, the one that came out this year, and the previous one as well. Gorgeous little phone, kind of small display, big bezels, right enough. But they had the iPhone SE, and I remember looking at lots of reviews of the iPhone SE, the small edition, whatever they call it. And the reviews were so positive, they didn't even mention battery life. They said, take a charger with you, or battery life is good if you pay attention to it. But they didn't point out the fact that you're lucky to get like 5 hours battery life on it if you're actually using it, using it for videos, etc. And the problem is you've got a lot of these top tech websites that are just terrible reviewers. And I wouldn't even classify myself as a fantastic reviewer, but at the very least, I'm honest. The reason I wouldn't classify myself in that is a lot of these top reviewers do so many tests and battery tests and all these things. I can't be bothered with it, if I'm honest. We find it easier to manage and control. We also have live voice chats as well. Right, okay. But sorry, right, sorry guys. I know what Discord. I know what Discord is. I use Discord all the time. I've been using it for like 5 years. I was asking what you did. You said it was forum-based games or something. But I do have Discord. I know a lot of you guys were asking for Discord as well for a chat forum, but I was kind of hesitant because of moderation, etc. as far as time. Some iPhone users on Twitter always say Androids are for broke people. Right, Starbase, right. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the idea that Androids are for broke people is ridiculous, of course. Especially when a lot of people who have iPhones have got iPhones that are years old. So this is Jamie's website here. Oh, that's quite interesting. So this is like a browser-based game. See, the thing is, right? See, a browser-based game. See, if you'd asked me 20 years ago, oh, you're just a player, right? Okay, sorry, right. See if you'd asked me 20 years ago if I like browser-based games, I would have said no, I don't like them. But I remember there was one game that my friend got me into, and it was actually a lot of fun. And I can't remember what it was like, but it was kind of similar to what you get with mobile apps now, that you had to spend so much time building stuff up, and it was like a strategy game, but it was actually really good. So I'm a little bit more open to things like that now. Quite interesting. But yes, I'm going to tie up the stream soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I just want to quickly go over what we talked about, and I'll talk quickly about what I'm doing over the next few weeks. So this is my, get this out of the way. This is my Mi 10T. First impressions are, I'm not going to say mixed. I'm going to say more of the same. I guess that's the best way to say it. Coming from the Poco F2 Pro here, it's effectively the same size of screen, the same weight, same size, weight, shape, dimensions, button position. This is a very easy transition for me. And it's the same interface as well, the MIUI, the Mi UI. There's obviously a number of improvements here. I'm going from 128 gigabytes to 256. I've got 8 gigabytes of RAM instead of 6. I don't know if that will make a big difference to performance. It's got the same CPU, so that's the same as well. Speakers appear to be better on this. I would say speakers appear to be better. The camera system will be better as well. This was a 64 megapixel based camera system. This is 108. It's not going to be night and day though. You know, I don't think I'm going to see all the videos and pictures from this phone and go, wow, this is so much better than the Poco F2 Pro. I still think, you know, during the course of 2020, given the price this sold at, you know, this was under 300 at some point. I still think this was arguably the best phone to buy this year from a price to Snapdragon 865 point of view. But for me, moving to this, the big thing is I've got more storage, I've got a better camera system, I've got a nicer display, 144 Hertz, and I've got a 3-year UK warranty as well. I'm not trying to downplay how good this phone is. I'm certainly not. But I think coming from the Poco F2 Pro, it's more of a sidestep than an upgrade, if I'm honest. And I think anyone who knows the specs of both of these phones would agree with that. I was told Android users are not as educated as iPhone users. Androids are for sensible people who don't worship Apple. What is a UI? So they call this UI Mi UI. So Xiaomi's range of phones they call Mi, and it's Mi UI, user interface. The Mi so that actually when I spoke to my friend about this a few months ago, I said that the Mi 10T was arguably the better one to get over the Mi 10T Pro because it was selling at £300, and £300 for the Mi 10T. Going to the Pro gave you a better camera system. I think it's got a higher refresh rate as well, but I would say that the Mi 10T was arguably a better buy if you look at a price to performance point of view, and you pay an extra £100 for the additional storage, additional memory and screen, which I guess you could argue is worth it, but you know, it depends on your perspective. I am looking forward to trying this though. I'm hoping to get out. I'm probably late at this point. I said I would do a live stream for about an hour or 2 hours. I said it would be like an hour and a half. I'm going to go out with my wife today. It's snowing, so I'm going to try and take some pictures with this, try and take some videos, just try and use it and get used to it. So I'll need to charge it up. But I'm looking to try this out, and I think the overall package here of the Mi 10T Pro here, I think it's quite good because you do get the 33 watt charger. The cable's quite short. This is definitely one of the criticisms I would say here. I prefer my cables to be a little bit longer. But the cable's good quality. I like the colour design here with the red. You do get a Type-C adapter, which is good. It would have been good to get some headphones as well, but that's good as well. And they do give you that case as well. So I do like the fact they give you the case. Like I said, even if this isn't the case I'm going to use with this phone, this is a good temporary one, even if it's only for a few weeks until I find something else. And if I buy another case and that case gets dirty or whatever, I can get this. But the fact that I'm talking here and look, you can see me, this is like a mirror and it's an absolute fingerprint magnet. So I'll probably keep it in the case. So moving forward over the next few weeks, I'm kind of jumping around a lot of different topics. A lot of the videos that I'll be doing over the next few weeks will be related to changing my layout here and my setup. I'm still looking to change this microphone up here. I did consider lavalier mics, but the problem with lavalier mics is that they're a pain to use with t-shirts, so you need to kind of clip them onto a jumper or stick them on, and then there's always the risk of distortion. I've got the boom mic here. Now, if I switch to that mic, I'm now using that microphone, and you should be able to hear the difference. Now, it's very, very echoey, and I'm hoping to get a kind of shorter hypercardioid mic. It's like £500 though to replace it. I'll get something for this though. I'm hoping that microphone will be a little bit better, and I don't like this in my face all the time, like that all the time. So I'll maybe switch from that microphone, get a hypercardioid, I can't even talk, hypercardioid mic, which basically just means that, the kind of, the range of it is not designed to be more open range. It's like very hyper. It's like the lines like that, the polar pattern. That's what I'm thinking of. So I'm looking to get that as well. And the other big thing is my computer. So I'm going to get a new monitor. That's something I want to get at one point. And I'm going to build my PC. And what I want to do with my old PC is kind of set it up as a streaming backup test bench PC as well. Do you think about getting the Pixel 4 5G or the Pixel 5? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Both of them are good phones. Great mid-range phones. Both of them are completely overpriced. They want £600 for a mid-range phone. I'm out. I'm not paying that. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not on board with this, you know, paying £600 for a phone that performs the same as a £250 phone. I'm not on board with that. And I'd actually say at that point, if you're going to pay $600 for a Pixel 5, I would say spend a little bit more and get an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 12. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. How is that Gigabyte Bluetooth card doing? As I was looking to get one for my Bluetooth headphones and keyboard. What's the latency like and would you recommend? Hi, Raphael. So, do I have that around? Do I have it sitting around here? I had that sitting around somewhere. I actually had the box sitting around here at one point. Somewhere. But I can't find it. So, yes, I would recommend it. I would recommend it. But I would also say, Raphael, is that there are newer versions out. There's newer versions now that come with Wi-Fi 6. And I don't know if it's a new version of Bluetooth, but I'd probably gravitate towards a newer version of a network card if you're going to do that. So over the next few weeks, I've got the new motherboard, the new CPU. I'm going to be picking up a graphics card. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you guys would like me to do it, but what I was thinking was I could do a video about the motherboard, and then when I get a case, I could do a video about that, and then kind of show you all the pieces of the puzzle when I build my PC. That's one way to do it. The case that I want is not there, but I was thinking about another case which I can use in the meantime. Then I can use it for the other PC, and then eventually maybe I just use it as a test bench, you know, just to kind of test different components. So over the next month, that is what I'll be spending thousands on. Many thousands, too many thousands. But yes, that's what I'll be doing videos on over the next month or so. I might be more computing based than phone based. But certainly over the next week or two, I will be, I'll do some videos on this. So if there's anything you want to know about this phone, obviously the Mi 11, and I suspect the Mi 11 Pro will be announced in a month or so as well, but the Mi 11 is definitely out now for pre-order from China. Might take a month or so to get delivered, but it is available. This is the Mi 10T Pro, and the Mi 10T Pro here, yes, the Mi 11 is coming out, but if you can get this at a good price, there's maybe a good argument for going for this instead. It depends on what you're looking for, though. You know, there's a lot of similarities. Obviously, the Mi 11's come out and it's got a 120 Hz display. It's actually got a smaller battery, but it does have that Snapdragon 888, the 888 CPU. So you'll get more performance with the newer phone, to be expected. But I've picked this up for £400. After ordering it, I saw that the Mi 11 was coming out, and I'm thinking, okay, this is bad timing. But I think I've done well here, and I think this is going to be a good phone. And even if I do get a new phone, it will be a good second phone. And I think moving forward, I should always have a second phone now, because if one phone dies or anything, I want to have a second phone there. No problem at all. No problem at all. And again, I'm going to post a link here. This is a YouTube link to Time to Unbox's YouTube channel, and this is his website. This is his YouTube channel. So show him some love, guys. He's been very supportive of me as far as giving advice. And he's, you know, if you're in the UK on Hot UK Deals, he's the guy that helps everyone with phones. And there's a lot of, I mean, this is the thing. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, right, that are, you know, got the fancy lights, the fancy camera, you know, thousands of pounds spent on the camera setups, and they've got this refined YouTube video experience, but they know F all, to put it politely. They know nothing about phones. So this is why I think it's good that we support more people that are actually passionate about phones, and they're not just sellouts that are getting phones sent for free, etc. He's very knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about, and yeah, it's good. It's going to be good to see how your YouTube channel evolves over the next couple of years. It'd be good to see you do a live stream at one point as well. If you're up for that at one point, it'd be good to see you doing that as well. I'd tune in for that. Be interesting to see what you do, but show him some love because he saved me some money today with this phone. And I'm sure he will do it in the future as well. But many thanks for tuning in today, guys. I really do appreciate everyone who's tuned into the live stream. I hope you've enjoyed this. I was going to say quick unboxing. This was not a quick unboxing. A quick unboxing is like 3 minutes. This has been over 2 hours. But I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Mi 10T Pro. From my own point of view, sometimes it's better for me to edit videos quickly and get them onto the YouTube channel. Sometimes that works better, but I always do prefer the interactive kind of nature of doing videos like this, where I get to chat to people. And I'm quickly reminded when I do videos like this that most of you know more than I do. You know, you guys share the same passion about phones and computers than as I do. And you know about phones that I've not even read about and things like that as well. Yeah, so stay tuned the next few weeks, guys. I'll let you know how I got on with this. I'm going to take some photos and videos with this after reading about 50,000 WhatsApp messages. And I'll let you know how I got on with my computer, because I don't like the fact I've had that CPU and motherboard just sitting there doing nothing, gathering dust over the last few weeks when I'm still using my PC, which is like 3 years old. So I'm going to get that. I still need to pick up maybe an extra hard drive, an all-in-one cooler, a graphics card, fans. There's going to be a lot of cash going out of my account. And the downside to that is I need to work more to pay for it. But I'll definitely join you again for more streams and other videos. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks. I appreciate the kind words. And hopefully we'll see you again. You don't know it yet, but the good thing about the live streams is all the usual suspects arrive, and it means that we can all get to know each other as well. It's quite, I don't know, I without being too cheesy, I do like the kind of community aspect of the live streams as well, where people have conversations with each other and stuff as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll let you know how I got on with this phone. And I'll let you know how I got on with the Poco F2 Pro repair. Fair play to them. I bought this phone from China and they're going to repair it in the UK. And they didn't know anything about me being a YouTuber or anything like that. It wasn't like I've asked for a favor or anything like that. They just said, what's your number? That number checks out from the box, the IMEI number. And they said they'll repair it. So fair play to Xiaomi. I really do like that. Right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Stay tuned for live streams, and I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. If I don't speak to you, have a fantastic Hogmanay, as we call it in Scotland, but have a fantastic New Year. Hope you have a good one. Stay safe from the virus, the evil virus, and hopefully we'll all get the vaccine next year. But yeah, stay tuned. I've got more videos soon, and I'm out. Cheers, guys.